All right, friends, so let's go ahead and get ready for our math lesson. Make sure again that you have your sticky note, your math journal, and a pencil. Okay? Thumbs up, everyone has it? All right. So here is our activating strategy, okay? We're going to be doing a line hunt. But before we get started, I am going to go over a couple vocabulary words with you. Why? Well, because we already learned about point, line, and ray, and line segment. Today we're going to be talking about parallel lines, intersecting, and perpendicular lines, okay? So parallel lines are lines in a plane that never intersects. Intersecting lines are lines that cross at one point. And perpendicular lines are lines that intersect to form four right angles. Okay, so for your activating strategy, you and your group, your table, you're going to be walking around, okay? Or not even walking around. You can stay seated, sorry. And you're going to be looking around to see what lines that you recognize inside the classroom. Give me a thumbs up if you understand. All right, awesome. I'm going to set my timer for about 1 minute and 30 seconds. Go.
The clock here. The camera. Oh, the L.
Make sure you're writing your ideas down on your sticky note. Write them on your sticky note so you don't forget. Clock hand up to the point. What lines are the clock hands intersecting, parallel?
How do you spell it?
Nope, we're writing it on the sticky note. Your sticky note.
Yeah, check. I said hands. Oh,
Very good.
book. The edge of a book.
About 30 more seconds.
I spelled edge. The edge is what pizza box. How do you spell edge? Pencil. The edge of every.
Alright, about 10 more seconds. I love what I'm seeing as I'm walking around. Anything, it could be letters, numbers, anything that you recognize that may
Oh, this thing. Whatever this is.
Very good. Very good, very good.
Where's the box?
All right, friends. Time. All right, so let's go ahead and put our pencils down. In 5, 4, 3. Awesome. All right, so who would like to share? I heard a lot of great things as I was walking around. Here, Mom. The number 4. Okay, do we agree? What type of line? Is it parallel, intersecting, or perpendicular? You said right angle, so which one is the right angle? Perpendicular. Very good, friend. Let me get one more friend, Luciana. The computer? Okay, what lines are you saying that you see? Parallel, perpendicular, intersecting. On the computer, do we agree? Anybody agree? All right. So remember, your activating strategy is just for you to get your, your minds flowing. I'm not here to correct you, but it's just to get your minds flowing. And then hopefully when we're done with the lesson, the hope is that maybe you'll see that you were right, or maybe you'll see that, oh, maybe I wasn't quite right at that time. But it's fine. All right, awesome job. So go ahead and put your sticky notes to the side. All right, and your pencil. All right, so let's go ahead and look at our learning target for today. It says that I can identify parallel, perpendicular, and intersecting lines. Let's read it together in 3, 2, 1.
I can identify parallel, perpendicular, and intersecting lines.
Very good. So I see a famous word that we always talk about. What is that word? Who can tell me? I hear everybody, so just shout it.
Identify.
Very good, friends. So when we are identifying, what are we using? Good, right? So I'm gonna draw some eyes above the word identify. Because we are gonna use our eyes to quickly identify these parallel, perpendicular, and intersecting lines, okay? All right, so that's what our objective is as well, okay? That by the time we're done with this lesson, the objective is that you'll be able to identify parallel, perpendicular, and intersecting lines with 80% accuracy, okay? And that's gonna come from your assessment at the end. So our essential question, and this is what I want us to think about as we're going through the lesson, is how can we identify and differentiate between parallel, perpendicular, and intersecting lines in various contexts, okay? How can we tell the difference between all three of these lines? Okay, so here is my teach problem, okay? Make sure our pencils are down, okay, and we're paying attention. It says a blue car is driving on Main Street. A red car, oh, I'm sorry, let me switch to my visualizer. So sorry. So you guys can see it on my visualizer. All right, give me a thumbs up if we can see it clearly. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so a blue car is driving on Main Street, and a red car is driving on Elm Drive. A black car is driving on Pine Road. How can you describe the relationships among the paths of the cars? Okay, so I noticed that in this problem, we are asked to describe the relationships among the paths of the cars, okay? So I see that there are cars traveling on Elm Drive, I see that there are cars traveling on Main Street, and I see that there are cars traveling on Pine Road, okay? So how many roads do we see here? Raise your hand and tell me. Charlie. We see 3. If you agree, say I agree. Okay? We have 3 roads, paths, and we also have 3 cars. Okay? And the question is asking me, how can I describe the relationships? If it's asking me how can I describe the relationships, what do you think that question is asking me? Because when we think about relationship, we think about what? For example, Miss Bush has a relationship with Miss Kersey, right? So when you think about that, you have a relationship with your mom and your dad. So if it's asking me to find the relationship amongst the past, what do you think the question is asking? Erin. Okay. Okay. Seeing what type of relationship they have, what do they may have in common, or how do they connect? Okay. Good. So, first thing I noticed, right, about Elm Drive and Main Street is that they are the same distance. You see that? They are on opposite sides of the roads and they travel the same distance. Okay? They're the same distance apart. Okay? And what I also noticed about Elm Drive and Main Street is that they never intersect. So if I'm on Elm Drive, I'm just going to be on Elm Drive. Or if I'm on Main Street, I'm just going to be on Main Street. Do we see that? They never intersect. So because of that, because these lines are always the same distance apart and they never intersect, they are called parallel lines, okay? Remember, parallel lines, lines in a plane that never intersect and are the same distance. But here's something else I want you to know about parallel lines, okay? That, notice how they are the same length here. But I'm going to surprise you using my geo board on how another way that parallel lines can look. Here is an example of, again, parallel lines. Though they are not the same length, they're still parallel lines because why? They're not intersecting, okay? They're not intersecting. So even though this line is longer than this line, they're still known to be parallel lines. Give me thumbs up if you understand that. Because the common misconception is that we'll think that these aren't parallel lines because they're not the same length. But that's not true. Just because they're not the same length doesn't mean they're not parallel lines. They just cannot what? Intersect. Very good. Okay? So, a way that I will work this out, especially on an assessment, if they said what lines, right, on this path are parallel, what I would write out is Elm Drive is parallel to Main Street. Do you see that, friends? Now I'm going to show you another way of parallel lines, right? So that's just if I had to write it out as a statement. But another way would be, say if I was given if you were asked the question, are these lines parallel to each other? Okay? Raise your hand if you say they are. Good. They are parallel to each other. And the way you'll write this out is, instead of writing it out like a statement like this, instead you would say JK, right, is parallel to line LN. You see that, friends? Awesome. Okay. All right. So now, okay, so that's one relationship that I've noticed about these paths, right, Roberto? That Elm Drive is parallel to Main Street. Okay? Now, the next thing that I noticed about the relationship among these paths is that Main Street and Pine Road, they intersect. Okay? So, here's Main Street and Pine Road. They intersect. Okay? They intersect with each other. And who can raise their hand and tell me what we noticed right here? Thinking about what we learned prior, right, about angles. Joshua?
Of right angle.
Of right angles. So, this lets us know. Very good. Right. Here is that right angle, okay? And this lets us know, Luciana, right, that they are perpendicular lines. Because perpendicular lines are lines that intersect to form, okay, a right angle. Because even look here, perpendicular lines. There's that right angle, right? So, another relationship that I saw here was that Main Street is perpendicular to Pine Road. Okay, friends? And again, we just learned that it forms a 90-degree angle. Okay, they're called perpendicular. So another way that I'm going to show you again, I'm going to use my same rubber bands. here are my perpendicular lines and my 90-degree angle. Do we see? All right, friends. Now, I want you to look, because there's one more relationship here. And I want you to think about it for a second. What do you think that relationship is? Okay? What do you think that relationship is? All right, who can raise their hand and tell me what do they infer? What do they think? Enrique, what do you think, friend?
Elam Drive also intersects with Pine Road.
Do we agree, friends? There's also Elm Drive, okay, also intersects, okay, and Main Street also intersect, okay. So Elm Drive, okay, going to it. Enrique, you said Elm Drive, and what else again, friend? I'm sorry.
They intersect with Pine Road.
With Pine Road, yes. Right here. Forming that same 90-degree angle, okay? Very good, very good, very good. So here on my geo board, I'm going to show you intersecting lines. Lines that intersect. Okay, lines that intersect right here. Okay, so say if this was A, B, C, and D, and I wanted to write out intersecting lines, well, I will say that AD, Luciana, line AB, oops, sorry, I wrote it wrong. Remember, you write the line above it. So line AD intersects with what? Let's see, intersects with what, Sophia? Line AD intersects with what? With line, very good, CB. If you agree, say I agree.
I agree.
Awesome job, friends. All right. So now, okay, we are going to go over our I can statement one more time. Okay, we're going to read it together in 3, 2, 1. I can identify parallel, perpendicular, intersecting lines. That wasn't everybody, so we're going to try it one more time. I can identify parallel, perpendicular, and intersecting lines. Awesome job. So here's one more thing I want us to do, right? You're going to use your arms, and these are parallel. So parallel. Everybody. Simon says, show me parallel lines. Bodies up. Thank you, show me parallel lines. Great job. Who can show us? Or like that, very good. I love that. Good job, Joshua. Because again, they're not touching, they're not intersecting. So parallel lines is here, parallel lines are here, right? Who can show me intersecting? Simon says, show me intersecting lines. Intersecting, very good. Simon says, show me perpendicular. Where you're forming, very good, very good. Awesome. All right. So here is, and again, our central question, right? How can we identify and differentiate between parallel, perpendicular, and intersecting lines at various contexts? Be thinking about this as we continue working. So here's your active engagement, okay? So I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to open up to your active engagement problem, for those of you who are not there. Okay? Thumbs up, are we ready? All right. So it says, okay, you are going to draw or create an example of perpendicular lines, okay? And how are you going to create? Well, you can use your geoboard like I was doing, okay, with you and your partner. The next one says draw or create an example of parallel lines, okay? And the last one says draw or create an example of intersecting lines, okay? So I'm gonna set my timer. I'm gonna give you about 3, maybe 2 minutes and 30 seconds or 3 minutes to work on this with your table, and we'll come together, okay, to see what you guys came up with. Do we understand? All right, go ahead and go. Remember, you can come with that shoe.
Wait, do we just leave it?
So you guys can work together.
Parallel.
These are what very good. So go ahead and draw that on your chart. Whatever you come up with, friends, remember just draw it in your chart, okay? Very good. Very good. Very good. So what lines are these? But what should you have at the end of them? Yes. Yes. Now, that was okay that you did that, because remember we learned our parallel lines. They don't have to be the same length. So you know how you have that shorter, so that's fine. You can keep it that way, because they're still parallel lines. Okay? What lines are these? But you're writing them in perpendicular. And you're writing them in intersecting. That's perpendicular. And you're writing them in intersecting. What's your geoboard? Your friend's over here. Guys, bring it over here so that way you all can just move space over here. Okay, so good. Which one are these? Yes, very good. Those are parallels. Oh, don't forget.
What is it? Look what you did. Me? Yeah. What was that? How you think actually like that?
All right, friends. All right, I'll give us about like 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds.
Actually, this is master. Yeah, bro, listen to X from 20. Chad, this looks so fire. Get up. Tomato, tomato.
There's a timer somewhere. Somebody's saying. Anybody see my timer? Oh, I see it. All right, friends. Let's go ahead. I love the engagement. let's go ahead and find our seats if we have to get up from our seats and put our rubber bands down and our geoboards down. And now I'm going to sorry about that. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. So now I'm going to call some friends up, and they are going to show us what they came up with. Okay? All right. Alrighty. So, Guillermo, come up. Show us. You can do which whenever you like, whether it's perpendicular, parallel, or intersecting. Okay? Up, geo, I still hear noise. Geo works down. Very good. Okay, very good, Guillermo. Do we agree?
Yes.
Because what do perpendicular lines form? Exactly, right, angles, okay? Did anybody have anything different? Okay, Luciana, show us on your geoboard. Show us on your geoboard. Is that perpendicular? You have shown us, and that's fine. Hold it up so everyone can see. Those are what kind of lines? Parallel, okay? Remember, parallel lines, they never what? They never intersect, okay? So thank you, Luciana, for showing us parallel lines. Okay? Very good. Lastly, intersecting lines. Genesis F, come show us intersecting lines. And you can do it right here in the bottom. Do we agree? Awesome job, friends. So this is what I want us to do. I want you to quickly go ahead and clean up your rubber bands and your geoboards. Ten, 9, 8, and you put the rubber bands right on top. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. So I'm just going to quickly show you. All right, your formative assessment, okay? So it says justify true or false. Okay, so again, same thing, similar to what we just did, what I presented for my teaching problem, okay? So you're going to be given streets again, and then it says, consider the following. Music Avenue is parallel to First Street. True or false, and then you're going to justify your reason. Give me a thumbs up if you understand. Okay? So if you normally come with me to the back, go ahead and go to the back with your pencil. I'm setting the timer once everyone gets theirs. Okay, so I'm gonna set my timer. We're gonna do our 4-minute assessment once I pass it all out. Yes, Genesis, go ahead. You normally come to me, so go to the back. Go ahead and close your journal. As soon as you get it, quickly write your name. As soon as you get it, quickly write your name and get started. Close your journal from. Close your journal with now. Thank you. All right, give us about 10 minutes. Okay, so number 1 says Music Avenue is parallel to First Street. True or false? True or false? Music Avenue is parallel to First Street. True or false? So circle what you think it is. So Music Avenue, and First Street. Are they parallel to each other? Music Avenue, First Street. No, they don't go together. Geometry Street intersects with Geometry Way. Geography Way. So here's Geometry Street, Geography Way. Do they intersect? What do you think? As I'm walking around, it seems like we may not need the whole 10 minutes, which is perfect. That's fine. We'll just switch to our seated class. Freeway. All right, about 2 minutes left, okay? It's okay if you don't get it all done, it's fine. Brett, are you done? Josh, are you done? So First Street. That's making it to what? What does it say? First Street. Main Street. What church? No, it's right here. Indigenous one. Well, I'm going to explain it in just a second. You're done here? Thank you. All right, friends, less than a minute. Seconds left. Alright, I'm going to explain this reading fast in just a second, and then we'll get to working. All right, time, friends, time. I'm coming to collect, and I'm going to explain your student task. So, thank you, friend. Okay. My friends back here, go ahead and go back to your seats. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, sorry. All right. All right, task. You can use those same geo boards that you guys have. And then if you finish early, you can do any I Ready teacher assigned. Give me a thumbs up if you understand what you and your group are doing. Awesome job. Go ahead and go. You can go ahead and use this. That's fine.
Wait, do we just make these?
Grab your pen, your math pen if your group is doing the geo board activity. Grab your math pen. Yes. All right, go ahead and get with your group. Enrique, yes, you can join Aaron's group. That's fine. Okay.
You're already in my. Yeah, because I didn't go to.
You guys can.
Can you just make the paper stand up? It's 1 paper.
All right, 220, 233 through 234.
It's 1 paper. Oh. I forgot. Okay, it says, we have to make a point on. Okay, let's put this first and then we can just split it up.
Liz, come over here. Because your group isn't here today.
I'm partner A. I'm partner A.
So you're writing out what lines you see, parallel, perpendicular, or neither, for numbers 1, 2, and 3. You understand? Liz, open up your workbook. Right, so here, you guys are, how would you describe the lines? Parallel, perpendicular, or neither, 1, 2, 3.
No, polygon is the shape, right? Okay, I'm gonna do.
Start on that page, 233.
What's a polygon?
The shape we come up with that have two sides that intersect to form perpendicular lines. Alright, how many of
With two sides that intersect. Sides. So. Oh, I didn't even say who got one. Look, square chest, square. With two sides. That.
Roberta. Perpendicular line.
Chat like that. Could you wait. Yo, polygon looks like.
Okay, so it's already the drill. This for that A and B created whatever okay. So Erin, what can you make that's different from that? But making sure that they're perpendicular lines.
I did this. How do you do this? Oh no, I did but look what I mean.
Good. What type of line? Is there either parallel or intersecting? You can write that on the bottom. Either, but they are intersecting. So you are writing the type of line that is parallel. That's your name for 1, 2, and 3.
So I can just have my free time.
Alright, looks like most of us are getting there. 233. And you guys can stop at 233 and then just check your work, okay? Charlie, just stop at 233 and check your work. You guys can stop at 233 and then just check your work, okay? Oh, look at that again. Those perpendicular. Just cross it out. You see the answer key, Charlie? Here, I'll bring it down for you. Check it right here. Make sure you mark it. Yes, like you always do. Great, when you're done with page 233, go check your work. Very good, Luciana. Continue going. What type of lines are these? What do you see for what? What type of angles do you see?
I said at T.
Girls, go ahead and check your work. You're done with page.
That's yours. This is yours. That's mine. I threw mine away. You probably threw the wrong one. What? No. This is
Go check your work. Genesis, as soon as you're done with that, check your work, okay?
Are you
Alright, and then you can put your judgment field book away, and then we'll move on.
What about the pen? She lost her.
Alright, put it on your, leave it on your desk. We only have time right now for 33.
Wait, chat.
Alright, friends, so let's talk about, before we get here, let's talk about the essential question, okay? So the essential question says, how can we identify? Okay, we already said earlier in the I can statement that identifying means we can use our what? Very good. Okay, so how can we identify and tell the difference? So that's what it means by differentiate. Tell the difference between parallel, perpendicular, and intersecting lines. Based on what you learned today, how can you identify and tell the difference between those three type of lines? I mean, think about it. And I'm going to call on someone. Think about your learning throughout this day. How can we identify and differentiate between all three lines? Jaron, what do you think? How can we tell the difference between all three of those lines? First, start with what you know. What do you know about all three of these lines? Parallel doesn't intersect. Okay, do we agree? Okay, so again, show me parallel lines with your body. Right. And what did we also learn, right? That no matter the length, right? The length doesn't matter as long as they're going where? In the same what? Direction. Okay, good. What about intersecting lines? They crosses, they intersect. Okay, very good. Okay. And what is in the middle? A vertex, very good. Okay, so it's when lines intersect at one point, at one vertex here in the middle. Very good. That's intersecting lines. Very good. Look for that vertex. Very good. That's how you can differentiate the difference between that. Very good. Now, what about perpendicular? Listen, what about perpendicular? What's the difference between the intersection of a perpendicular line and an intersecting line? What do we see, or what do we identify? What are we going to be looking for perpendicular lines? Gabriel. 4 right angles, or an angle where it meets at what degree measure? 90. Okay, so intersecting, you're looking for that vertex or midpoint, common point, and then for perpendicular, you're looking for those 90 degrees. Very good, friends. All right, so here's our summary and closing. Okay, so again, parallel lines in a plane that never intersect, never touch. We just said that. Intersecting, lines that cross at one point. Okay. Perpendicular, lines that intersect to form 4 right angles. Okay, so here is your closing. Okay. It says name a set of parallel perpendicular lines or intersecting lines. Okay, then you're going to get your sticky note and you're going to stop and jot it right up here. Alright? Everyone understand what you're doing? Awesome. Go ahead and do it for me.